Howdy. Welcome to, well, let's call it the state of the industry. I am your host, Gary Edmonds. As many of you know, I am also the storage manager. I recently returned from the SSA Fall Conference in Las Vegas. So much of what we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes is based on what I learned, read, saw while I was there. Some of it is also what we're seeing in our portfolio and the facilities that we own. So here goes. I'll be honest. SSA was interesting. Lots of new tech and shiny objects, which may or may not make anybody any money. But there was a lot of discussion about things like interest rates and, how much are they going down? When are they going down? How much will that affect? Will there be a ton of new properties hit the market? Will there be a ton of properties sell and get off the market? So a lot of discussion about that. Couple of interesting statistics that I had not heard before, but 70% of storage customers visit their unit less than 2 times a month. So again, that goes to show that some of the time the people that we have working at the facilities, managing the facilities, they're really not dealing with, a lot of customer interactions and everything, because if 70% of the people aren't even going twice a month, how often are they really interacting with real people on site? So just a little sideline note there. There was one session that I attended, and it was led by Chuck Gordon, who most of you know, he is the CEO of Storable, which owns Storage, SiteLink, Sparefoot, ESS, and others. A couple disturbing things that he said. First of all, Google searches are down from their peak. They are currently at 57% of the high. So of the people that were searching for storage 3 years ago when we were kind of at the peak demand, we're seeing 57% of those searches now. So almost half as many Google searches being performed looking for self-storage as what there were. Very frightening number for me as we look to continue to fight the occupancy challenges that so many different locations are facing. A lot of discussion heard about oversaturated markets. And I'm not going to get into where or when or anything like that, but just be aware that there is a lot of discussion finally that we have overbuilt in a lot of areas, and rates and occupancy may take a long time to recover in those areas. So be very aware. A lot of discussion has been held in the last few months about the REITs and their give it away philosophy for the first couple months, and then quickly raise the rates once they get tenants in. Their strategy, get them in low, and then typically about a 30 to 40% increase, followed by a series of 15% increases. According to Chuck, 84 to 86% of the tenants stick through those rate increases. So clearly, the numbers are there to back up the REIT strategy. Whether we have philosophical issues with a bait and switch model or not is not where I'm going with this. Just letting you know that it works. The tenants are pretty sticky, and they put up with those rate increases for a while. Interesting. Mark Burstein from MJ Partners led a pretty lengthy discussion about the Q2 reports from the big REITs, primarily, Public, Extra, U-Haul, just kind of going over what they're seeing and what they're reporting in their Q2. Most of the REITs are all projecting low negative to basically flat revenue projections for 2024. NOI, all of them are projecting to be lower, primarily due to taxes and insurance. So they're getting hit just like all of us are. Q2 revenue ranges were from negative 2.8 to 0.6 year over year comparison, but the occupancy was stable. So again, that's telling you that we've got a lot of units that are being filled up at a lower rate than what they're moving out. Mark did note that among the REITs, the street rates began to decline in July, and that's a little earlier than normal. That kind of spring pushes through July, and they don't start to lower their rates until August. So that's a little concerning as well. Very clearly, the REITs are managing for occupancy rather than revenue. So they are doing everything they can to keep the units full, no matter what the rate is, with the confidence that they can boost rates and end up getting to the same place eventually. Acquisitions. Mark said that based on their interpretations, the REITs were buying at a 4 cap in 2022, 5 cap in 2023, and a 6 cap in 2024. A little hard to base that number on much because Public Storage, Extra Space, and CubeSmart, between the three different organizations, acquired a total of 5 locations in Q2. So they're not exactly lining up to pay through the roof on properties. They are taking kind of a calm approach. I did talk to a friend of mine that works at Public, and they do have a number of properties in the pipeline, but clearly it is slower than it was a few years ago. Move out spread, one of the interesting things here, and that's the rental rate that somebody moves out at versus what you can turn around and refill that unit. And Public Storage in Q2 had a 31.8% spread between those. So in real numbers, if somebody was occupying a 10 by 10 and it was $100 and they moved out, then Public Storage is renting that unit out for about $68, which is significantly below $100, obviously. But the scary thing is that spread is actually an improvement over Q1. So, maybe that spread's narrowing a little bit. Extra Space was at about 25.7% move out versus move in. Again, a little frightening there. That's a massive drop, and I know that we've tried really hard not to lower asking rates or street rates, just to try and help keep the financial projections there. But we are going to have to look at decreasing rates substantially in some areas to try and compete on the occupancy side. One last thing from kind of the comparisons there, Extra Space in Q2, they increased their marketing spend 20% and their insurance spend by 17.4%. So they're spending a lot more money on marketing, and they're getting hit with the same insurance that we all are. There are no magic answers out there, although there was a lot of discussion about that fact at the convention because it's affecting all of us. Certainly it's worse in some of the coastal areas and whatnot, but insurance is not getting better anywhere. A couple of other things, again, the constant discussion about marketing and everything. Google, again, they're the big monster out there. And what I am beginning to understand is that the old organic rankings are becoming less important. As Google fills up their search page, they are working much more with the different categories, the map, the ads, and everything up at the top. And even though you could rank number 1 in the organic rankings, such as it is, you could still fall all the way down onto page 2 based on how many other things are popping up on that Google page. But the way to compete with that is reviews. Google is becoming very, very customer centric. So they are really focusing in on reviews and how highly rated businesses are when they're going to rank them highly. So the one thing that I would really encourage everybody to work on is maximizing their reviews, and certainly the highest reviews, addressing the old or the poor reviews when they come in, because we all get a few of them, and doing what you can to work with that, because the reviews are becoming even more important to the rankings, probably more so than the content. But that is just my perspective. It is not necessarily coming from a marketing person, but at least the reviews are something that we can control. We are working with an outside vendor to gather reviews, and they seem to be doing a much better job than we were able to on our own. So we are going to continue that. But that's the big thing that I took away from the marketing components of the SSA, and what I've learned in the last few months working with our own marketing people. is that, less worry about the organic rankings, more focus on the reviews, and that will get you onto the maps and the other things that Google cares about. So I guess that in a nutshell. Past dues. I can say that the facilities that we own and manage, our past dues are actually in better shape than they were 2 years ago. So, that's probably due in part just to, a lot of the things that we've put into place with our company. But secondly, maybe the economic stress is not showing up at our facilities like it is showing up a lot of places, restaurants, grocery stores, etc. I'm not sure what it means, to be honest, but just wanted to share with you that our past dues are down a little bit, and that's a good thing for us and our owners, and that's a good thing to end on. So, again, kind of a quarterly state of the self-storage industry. And my name is Gary Edmonds, and I am the storage manager.